Welcome, welcome, welcome to the big show, everybody. It is Friday, June the 24th. Thanks for joining us here on Up to the Minute. I'm Parrish Murphy, and I'm with Randy Ramsey of Southwest Alternate Media Project, also known as SWAMP here in this town. As well, she is an HCC adjunct professor. Randy's our special co-host, our special guest co-host today, and she's going to let you know where exactly you can find us. Randy?
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, living the life. We're live this morning on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube, not HCC. There's a lot of HCCs out in the world. You have to go to the Houston Community College District Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Absolutely. Thank you, Randy. And also today, we have another international student success story. Daniel Hamid will be joining us in about 10 minutes. We'll have that interview. Daniel, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good morning, Mr. Murphy. Good morning, everybody. I'm doing good. How about yourself? Thanks for having me.
Sir. Doing wonderful. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. Hang tight. And but first, we're gonna do something on our Film Friday. As you know, Friday is our Film Friday. And of course, who better than Randy from Swamp? She's gonna be visiting with one of our very own HCC filmmakers from HCC's filmmaking program, who has made a short film, Kate Phillips. Kate, how you doing this morning?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing pretty well. Thank you.
Great. Now, Randy, we'll be back with Daniel, but go ahead and let's talk about our HCC graduate and the short film that she's made.
Hey, good morning, Kate. How are you?
I am doing really well. Thank you.
I'm super excited. Oh, puppy. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning because I'm also an HCC adjunct faculty. So I get the joy of not only working with Kate, but also teaching with her, which is a lot of fun. So this short film that you shot at Christmas time.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, you had another HCC faculty on your team.
I did. Julie Newland, professor. She teaches with me in the filmmaking program and teaches cinematography. So she was the DP.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about It's a Noble Gentleman, which is a short film that you wrote. Wait, guys, she's more than a triple threat. She wrote it, she produced it, she directed in it, and she acted in it.
It's true. It happened. That was the first time I'd ever tried acting and directing. It was something I had always wanted to try and just felt like it was the right project to do it with. And yeah, it was really an experience. It was a period project. So it was set in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And we did it on a very low budget. So all of that all together made for an interesting mix.
Well, also it's brave of you to do all of that on a low budget, on a tight schedule. That's
thank you.
A little crazy, a little brave.
A little bit of both, which I think is what you need to be a filmmaker. But it was also really made possible by the support that we had from the local filmmaking community. We had a lot of support from yourself, from Swamp, from the Houston Media Source, and from the other faculty members at HCC. And we had some students on set too. So it was really a community effort. I had the friend that I wrote it with actually came from London to come and make it with me. I had a friend come out from LA. So we had a kind of international group and a Houston group going on. And it was fun to bring that community together as well.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part about that process? Because working with students can be a great joy, but also when you're trying to complete something on a timeline, a challenge. So you're teaching. So in addition to everything else you were doing on the film, you're also teaching while you're trying to direct, act, produce.
Yeah. And I love to do all of that at once, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it all at once if I was going to act on top of that, being that was sort of new for me and, it's sort of all consuming. So that was why I knew that I was going to have to rely on really great department heads and why we wanted to bring in, trained professionals to mentor the students on set, which ended up, I think, being really successful because I love filmmaking and I love every part about that process. And, I could talk about it for forever. And that was really a cool way to direct as well, acting, because it felt like I was kind of making the movie from the inside a little bit, which was fun. But I also really enjoyed seeing, because it was a 4-day shoot, and over those 4 days, seeing those students who really stepped up and wanted to learn, they really developed a skill set by the end of that. And we were kind of we were like a cohesive set, even despite all of the things that happened. A bunch of people tested positive for COVID right before the set. So we were shorthanded and, all of that was going on, but we banded together. And I think that's always one of my favorite parts of the filmmaking process, when the team kind of comes together and it feels like, we haven't just built a movie, but we've built a little tribe. And, that was really fun and satisfying by the end of it. We survived.
So what was your favorite memory? Your favorite moment on the set? Because you always have one.
Yeah. If you know Julie Newland, she provides a lot of entertaining memories, a lot of fun memories. But I think probably the most memorable thing was that Sam, the actor who'd come from London, he had shaved his head and needed a wig. And so he had this wig, but I'd never worked with a wig before. I didn't understand how much attendance it needed. And we're out in the heat, it's December, but it's in Houston, and he's sweating. And this wig just gradually sort of decayed. It was a huge mess. It was always getting tangled up. It was falling off his head. The wig was a disaster. We kept calling it was named the Rat. And so when we finally wrapped, we ceremoniously burned the rat. It was the end of the rat.
I'm sure that there was a little bit of joy and release. Everybody has a prop or something like that on a film where you're like, why did I think that was a good idea?
Yeah. Now I know. Wigs take a lot of work. You got to glue it on. You got to keep maintaining it. It's not easy.
There was sand, so much sand on that set.
So much sand. Yes. We were on a beach, and I was in this I was barefoot, so by the end of it, we were all covered in sand. Really. It was all over us. It
was like From Here to Eternity, but terrible.
Yes.
From Here to Eternity makes every beach scene look so glamorous and sexy. And then in reality, you're like, ugh.
I'll tell you, rolling around on sand is not nice for your body.
No, it's not sexy at all or fun. No. So I know you're working on some new shorts right now. You just shot one and you've got another one coming up, right?
Right. Next weekend, I'm shooting another one that I'll also be acting in. Last one I did not act in, thank goodness.
So as you go through, and I know that you're an accomplished and longtime filmmaker, but for me, I find that when I'm working on set, there's something I take away from every single set that's a new learning experience. It's something new so obviously from Noble Gentlemen, you took away wigs bad. No. As you move forward, you're what are you looking forward? What skill are you looking forward to develop?
Well, I think, on Noble Gentlemen, I learned wigs bad, but I also learned just if I'm acting, how much less available I am to be there as the producer. So I made it a really strong goal to just really, have the crew, to just have better production support in general going forward if I am going to do that. So I tried for this next short that I'm working on to make the elements a little bit more controllable, made it a really small crew, one location, 2 actors in one space. Not period, because I'd really like to continue to develop, I guess, that acting and directing thing. I find it really interesting, but I definitely found it, I found it hard to stay focused on it on the last movie because there was just so much going on. So I guess that's what I'm eager to try it in a different context. And I'm also exploring material that I think is more personal to me and more, almost autobiographical, which is, I think, the scariest thing that I've ever done, but feels like it's going to really grow me as a filmmaker. Because I think as a filmmaker, we have this, anytime you're doing this as an artist, you're exposed, and there's that fear of exposure, I think, that I'm trying to work through. And I think that that's something that is going to be a big challenge on this one.
Well, speaking as a fellow screenwriter, I know that when you're writing something that's really personal, it can be really quite cathartic.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, and then you find stuff inside yourself that you were like, wow, I didn't know that was there. And I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with it. But, and unlike other people who are, a little bit nuts, I feel like you're like me, where you're like, here's this icky thing I found in the pit of my soul. Let's take it out and show it to everyone else. So I'm excited to hear that you're going to be working on some personal stuff. That's really cool. Definitely. But what tips would you give to a screenwriter who's working on that personal stuff? Because I know you can get right up to the edge of that and then it's scary and you just.
Yeah. It has been really scary for me. This is a topic that it's taken me a long time to address. And I don't know, for a long time, I guess I wasn't ready, but I would say that what has helped me more than anything is the community. And I would say that you need a strong community. You need fellow people who are going to read your script and who are going to give you that feedback in a supportive way. You know, people who are other screenwriters who understand the process, you know, and just kind of like, I realized that doing it alone, the burden and the pressure is all on you. And that fear is also all on you. But when you're building something with collaborators who get what you're doing, you know, especially fellow actors, the producer, like every department head on your film should be bought into what it is that you're making. And if you can tell them your personal story, and that's what I've been finding is I tell it to other people and I see in them their interest and understanding and that they take it and they relate to it. And that's helped me understand that I can then put it out into the world. So like starting on that smaller, more close scale with my community and the people who I trust has really helped me, you know, be able to do that. So I tell every student, you know, if you're a writer, if you're a director, you need that community of fellow writers and directors to be able to share work with so that it's not all trapped inside of you.
Well, thank you so much for being part of our community and sharing this with us. I'm super excited about seeing your next couple of projects, and I just really appreciate you. So thanks, Kate. And I know you have to shove off to a faculty event this morning.
I do.
So give everybody my best, and I'm going to send it back. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Kate. We want to talk to you again. I love this. This is actually a great show. Kate Phillips, filmmaker and HCC instructor for the Media, Visual, and Performing Arts COE, as well as our Film Friday guest. We'll have more information on her movie after the post. Real quick, Kate, where can we see your short film?
Great question. It's still being edited, but I am going to LA as soon as next month, and I'm going to finish it, and it'll be online. Okay, perfect. Please send us some information because we'd love to let people know and come back on the show. We'd love to have you, Kate. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. All right. Thank you, Randy and Kate. We're going to move to our student success story. Daniel Hamid is a HCC Honors College graduate and International Real Journey Campaign Ambassador. Daniel, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mr. Murphy. Thank you so much for having me at the show today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you're from Nigeria, I understand.
Yes, I am from Nigeria. I moved to the U.S. about 7 years ago. Okay.
Now, give us a little bit of background on that.
So I moved to the U.S. about around 6 years, actually. It was 2016. HCC was my first choice.
Okay.
I already had it in mind to get my first 2 years done at HCC, then transferred to a 4-year college. And it kind of worked out because HCC actually provided me with the tools that I needed to have a solid foundation, while, you know, gently introducing me into the culture in Houston and culture in America in general. So yeah, that's exactly how I came about to, you know, become a student at Houston Community College.
Great. Now, what part of Nigeria are you from?
So I'm an interesting mix. My mom is Igbo, my dad is Yoruba. So
oh, wow.
It's like, you know, I would say I'm pan-Nigerian, you know. So,
you're quasi-Nigerian.
So yeah, and I grew up in Ibadan. It's a southwestern city in Nigeria. So it's kind of like a very laid-back, chilled, relaxed city. It's like Houston and Galveston. So Lagos is the more popular city people know in Nigeria, but that's like the bustling place for everybody to be. But Ibadan is kind of like very chill and very relaxed. And that's kind of like how I like my city, you know.
That's always good. Now, what are the challenges you had to overcome being at HCC's international program and within the Honors College?
I would say the Honors College provided me a very great opportunity to actually network with students from different backgrounds. The course workload was a challenge because apart from doing the regular work, you got to do, go the extra mile. You got to go above and beyond. The work life was not easy because I was actually working in the advising office as an enrollment staff while I was at HCC. And I do remember my friend back then, I was telling her, hey, I would like to apply for the honors college. And she said, oh, don't do it. It's a lot of work. You don't want to do it. You don't want to take this on. I was like, no, what do I have to lose? Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me try it. And, 2 years after that, I did it. And when I was graduating, I told her like, hey, thank God I didn't listen to you. So yeah, Absolutely. The challenges was like the workload, balancing work life, and, like not listening to what, people would say about you going to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing about honors programs, they take discipline. And just like anything else, when you're doing something in college, you have to have a discipline about yourself, in order to do it. And you can't listen to other people because you know what? Other people are lazy, and it just depends. If it's something that you want to do, I've learned a long time ago, go for it. True. Now, a big part of the honors college is traveling abroad. Where have you gone?
Oh, that's actually one of my favorite times at HCC. So I joined the honors college because I just love the feeling of, they had this little room, everybody goes into it and they come out and they all look like scholars to me. So I was like, that is what I want to do. I really love that. Then when I talked to my professor at that time, Professor David Wilcox, a great professor, by the way. So he told me, oh, there's opportunities to travel abroad. And we had the opportunity to travel to Paris. And not only Paris, we traveled to Colmar. Colmar is actually a very interesting city because it's like smack down, like shares a border with another European country. I believe it's Germany. And they spend money in the German currency and they spend money in the French currency. So it's a very interesting city. The buildings are very like picturesque. And everybody was so friendly. It was really nice. And when we went to Paris, it was a contrast. Paris is a big city and Colmar is this little city full of culture, bustling with life. And Paris is just, everybody is trying to go forward, trying to go get it. But one thing I would give to Paris was very sweet. Yeah, sweet people. Everybody like said bonjour almost every time you go around. In the daytime, you can see people drinking coffee and having a nice time. It was great. It's a good city, full of culture, full of great people. And HCC Honors College afforded me that opportunity. And for that reason, I would say I'm grateful because it kind of made me understand how it is to be a global citizen. And I believe that's one of the things, traveling outside, like making trips like that in the Honors College, brings to students, like gives the gift of being a global citizen to students.
Great. How did the transfer program benefit you?
How do you mean transfer, like from HCC to a 4-year college?
Yes.
Oh, this was great. I moved to UT. I took a semester off just to get everything taken care of. Then I moved to UT where I actually finished with a bachelor's degrees in health disparities and advocacy. So it was really great because the advising setup in HCC is actually next to nothing. I would say I'm biased towards the Central College. It's that's where I am. But I would say the advising program generally at HCC, it's top notch. The advisors are always ready to help and they're always willing to have you in their office and give you what you need to graduate and to transfer beyond HCC, because that's ultimately the goal, to get you into a 4-year college and get you situated right.
Great. Now, how did HCC prepare you for your career and where are you working now?
Oh, yeah. I would say everything from the classes, the mode of instructions, it did more than prepare me for a career. It gave me the right tools to be able to, get myself set up for anything I want to pursue. So HCC is a foundation. It's the bedrock. And foundations, as you know, are very important. And that's the gift HCC provided me. And knowing how to use my resources is one of the things I learned back in HCC and understanding the importance of networking. Networking actually got me to where I am today. I'm an operations manager at Amazon. Amazon is by far the largest e-commerce company in the US and an extension of the world in general. So HCC provided me the chance to be able to, you know, get my foot into the door and prove what I can do and show myself like, hey, I'm worth it. This is what I bring to the table. And so far it's been going good. And I would say, yeah, the foundation has been solid since, you know, being an HCC alumni.
Great. Well, you are worth it, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're worth it. You put in the work and you put in the discipline. And man, anytime you put in your work, you know, you get what you work for. There's an old saying, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. And, you don't eat. And, you know, and you have to be able, especially if you can do something you love. That's really great. Listen, Daniel, thank you so much for being with us. Daniel Hamid, an HCC honors college graduate and international Real Journey campaign ambassador. We'll have your information in the post after the show. Thank you so much for being with us again, and come back. Feel free to come back, Daniel.
I will. Thank you, Mr. Murphy, for having me.
Absolutely.
And thank you to the team at HCC Media. I do appreciate you guys.
Awesome. And call me Parrish. You make me feel like somebody's father, Mr. Murphy.
All right, Parrish.
Take care, Daniel.
All right. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. Randy.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. I will say this. If you have not, I'm just going to pitch this. If you have not been in a movie theater lately, it's time to go back.
Oh, absolutely.
So much good stuff. Right. But I know we have announcements and I know we have business that we have to take care of. But I'm just saying, if you haven't seen Top Gun.
I've heard that. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. It was so fun to be back in a movie theater with people, you know, just really enjoying it. And, you know,
nothing like the experience.
No. And it's just it's a really fun movie. There's a lot of good stuff coming out this week, next week. It's nice. As a filmmaker, I feel like we're back. There's a really good Texas indie film that's coming out that's going to be playing in the local theaters. Keep an eye out for it. Yellowstone, which I know sounds like Yellowstone, but it's Murder in Yellowstone. It's a Texas-based film shot in Texas. So I'm plugging it. Go support the Texas filmmakers.
Great. Now, I want to get into a couple of announcements before we get out of here. Student support services will be closed today. We want to remind everyone that select virtual and in-person student support services will be closed for an in-service today, Friday, June 24th. Please visit HCC's virtual lobby for a complete list of services that will be unavailable. Again, no services today, Friday, June 24th. That link to the virtual lobby is always in our posts after the show.
And then don't forget the HCC Verizon STEM Summer Camp is coming up July 11th to July 29th at Houston Baptist University. And it's HCC entrepreneurial initiatives teaming with Verizon to host another STEM summer camp to empower middle schoolers with next-gen technology. Registration info on our post after the show. Check it out.
Great. Credit where credit is due. Financial aid grants and loans may be available to assist students for books and supplies with the Summer 22 book credit. That happens through August 1st. We'll have the financial aid book credit information in our post after the show.
And I want to encourage people to attend our Media Arts Student Showcase for spring 2022. That's a compilation screening, including student projects from filmmaking, audio recording, technology, and music business programs through August 15th on YouTube. No registration required. Just click on the link. We'll have it on our post after the show.
Great. And get your degree for free. Eagle Promise is back. HCC's promise to help you earn a degree for free. The HCC Eagle Promise program offers qualifying students money to cover tuition, fees, and books each semester. We'll have the link in our post after the show.
If you're looking for a new license plate, did you know, Parrish, you can get custom HCC license plates?
I did. I thought they only did those in prison.
No, well, that leads to a whole nother discussion we can have on another day. But you can get a custom HCC license plate now. So if you order yours today, it actually helps fund students tomorrow, because a portion of the proceeds from each sale supports student scholarships from the HCC Foundation. So what are you going to do? Check out the link on our post after the show.
Absolutely. And more summer classes are coming up. Fall registration is ongoing. You can still register for smaller summer semesters, but fall semester 2022 registration is still going on now. Our course options are still online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in person, or hybrid lab. For registration on all HCC programs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That is hccs.edu/apply. And coming up on Monday, and we will have another student success story from the International Student Services Real Journey campaign. And it will be Mental Health Monday, followed by Tasty Tuesday, and a host of other special guests lined up for the week. So don't miss us on Up to the Minute. Randy Ramsey, thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you, and I look forward to meeting you in person. You and
so
Kate.
Happy to be here, always.
Great. Thank you for being with us. And thank you guys for joining us today. We will see you next time on Up to the Minute.